Welcome back to the show, everybody. Check out these headlines we have for you here. Elon talks about the next threat to mankind, and it's on our doorstep. We got Ripple partner news. SEC sweeping action towards crypto exchanges. BRICS putting the move on new decentralized system. And you're going to hear from Vladimir Putin as well, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. Oh my. We got the BIS, and one U.S. presidential candidate says there will not be a USA CBDC. We got that. XRP-TA. Is it $3 plus or $250? Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show, everybody. You can follow us on Twitter and YouTube for exclusive content. Right now, $1.16 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is off by 0.6%. 26,300 plus, 1,800 almost on the nose for Ethereum. Tether market cap, 83 billion, slightly over. I tell you, I don't think we know that we got clarity for crypto until we understand USD Tether and how it is with that on and off ramp. I got to say it because we haven't found out yet. XRP is 45 cents. It's off by 0.8% this morning and off by 3% on the 7-day. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't checked out I Trust Capital, invest in crypto, gold, and silver using your IRA. Buy and sell crypto and precious metals 24/7 in a tax-advantaged IRA. I'm telling you, this is the best crypto IRA on the planet, bar none. Not going to find a better product. Transfer your existing IRA or start a new one. Roll over your 401k, TSP, 403b, 457, and so many other options. You get your own back office. You can contribute. I tell you, like I said, this is the best crypto IRA. I don't know why you're not doing it yet, but the link's underneath this video so you can check it out. I love my sponsor, iTrust, right there. This is Elon Musk telling us, in fact, what is on the event horizon. It's a black hole of artificial superintelligence, which is the real threat to mankind, and it's on our doorstep. Listen to this.
I mean, it depends on what time frame we're talking about here. So if you say like over 20, 30-year time frame, I think things will be transformed beyond belief. You probably won't recognize society in 30 years. Like I do think we're fairly close. You asked me about artificial general intelligence. I think we're perhaps only 3 years, maybe 6 years away from it. This decade. So. In fact, arguably, we are on the event horizon of the black hole that is artificial superintelligence.
Wow. I got to be honest. If it's bothering him, it should shake all of us up a little bit. Now, shouldn't it? Let's talk about some Ripple partner news before we get too far here, because we have some heavy stuff to look at just going forward here. But Air Wallets is a Ripple partner, complements a Working Money channel. Shout out to Working Money channel. Global payments platform Air Wallets has joined forces with open banking payments network TrueLayer to provide businesses with innovative payment solutions. We love hearing it, but there's more. This here also from Working Money channel here. We reported on Thunes the other week. Thunes is a Ripple partner, and D360 Bank, Saudi Arabia's new digital bank, announced its partnership with Thunes, a global cross-border payment infrastructure platform. This all speaks to Ripple partners, the expansion of the technology, because they know the world we're going to. Oh, and we've got something for you in just a moment here. Now, I played this video in this morning's clip, and I'm not going to play it in this one, but sources tell Fox Business News that Gary Goldman Gensler is readying his staff for more crypto crackdowns and is said to be, and this is the word that was used, flogging staff to bring various crypto cases, and went on to say in this clip, because we got more to look at today, but went on to say in this clip that specifically Gary Goldman Gensler's SEC is about to go after sweeping action of crypto exchanges. Now, if you have not seen the video from this morning, where Brad Garlinghouse is saying that he expects a resolution in this case within weeks because of the Hinman emails that are going to be released, this may be a leading indicator that either one of two things. Either Gary Goldman Gensler feels like he's going to get part of this decision in his favor that gives him the ability to do this, or Gary Goldman Gensler is taking action now before there is a decision that will not be favorable for him, and he can start these civil actions before the ruling is handed down. We will see. This is important. Now, we've all been following BRICS in the development with their new payment infrastructure and the introduction of a new reserve currency inside of the BRICS coalition. We also know that the BRICS coalition has been expanding, accepting applications from other countries as well. Right now, BRICS has about half the population of the world and half the natural resources of the world as well. This is no laughing matter. It is nothing to scoff at. I have often said, and I say it again today, that the de-dollarization campaign that is taking place is really and I use the word front, but it is very real, the de-dollarization and devaluing of the dollar. So I don't mean to minimize that, but let's look at a bigger picture, which is the payment infrastructure of the world and the fractionalized payment zones we're seeing be created, whether it's the EU, the UK, or whether we're talking about BRICS coalition or the United States. All of these payment zones have to have a way to communicate with each other going into the future. And as we do that, it needs to happen with interoperability and in a trustless way where they know that each party is going to get what they need and they don't have to trust one another to get it. Now, with that being said, I want to read this to you right quick here, which is one of the Russian representatives here has stressed that the new payment infrastructure boasts cutting-edge technology and could be revealed after the BRICS summit, which is in August of this year. So just a few months from now, the alliance and nations of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa will combinedly decide a new currency for global trade. This is happening, ladies and gentlemen. And here is Vladimir Putin, and he is saying some pretty remarkable things. Now, I've got the volume turned down on this because I don't speak Russian, but I'm going to read to you what is happening here in the translation. Many other rapidly developing economies of the world, including China, India, Latin American states, are also switching to use, let me back that up really quickly here. It says here, and I just want to read all of this, are also switching to the use of national currencies in foreign trade settlements. And it is important to coordinate joint efforts to form such a new decentralized global financial system. That's Vladimir Putin saying this. This is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the stability of all global finance will largely depend on this decentralization. The more decentralized it is, the better for the global economy. It will be less dependent on these crisis phenomena in those countries that still have such an advantage as world reserve currencies. And there you have that. Now, that's coming directly from the horse's mouth, ladies and gentlemen. I tell you, this is something you cannot turn a blind eye to. This is a quick clip here of Simon Hunt, an economist, talking about the ruble and the yuan are convertible by gold. What does that mean for the dollar? Take a listen here.
the ruble and the yuan will be convertible into gold. Bang.
Wow.
Bang.
What does that do for the US dollar?
I could answer in a very simple Yorkshire manner, but I'd
Yeah,
better
go
not.
on. You're allowed to do that, Simon.
No. By, say, 2026, 2027, the dollar index will have halved in value.
Okay, now this is a conversation I've had here on the channel lately, and one we have heavy inside of the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group, which there's a link underneath for a free trial. Do not mess around and join that group. I'm telling you, just a side note here, I know you're busy, but there are the tools inside there that you need to help you get where you want to go. There's no question. And a community that is bar none above any other I've been a part of. I feel fortunate to be a part of this group. Click that link and join the Digital Perspectives Mastermind group. The ruble and the yuan will be convertible by gold, talking about having the US dollar value in another 3 to 4 years. Don't forget that in 1984, there was the Plaza Accord where the US dollar was in fact devalued because of the same problems, the strength of the dollar and the stress it was putting on so many other countries at the time. Do not rule out that we could see history repeat and a devaluing of the dollar take place once again. And do not rule out that while that conversation is happening, the fractionalized payment zones for decentralized payment infrastructure is quickly being put in place. And with that being said, let's take a look at this. The BIS, the Central Bank of Central Banks, is moving forward with their work on retail central bank digital currencies. Now, not just wholesale, but retail central bank digital currencies. And what's the concern there? The concern is that we won't have the privacy we have with paper dollars. And once they have control of that, they'll start making decisions based on, well, you had too much beer last week, you're buying too much gas, you went too far away from home, you're spending too much, your carbon footprint's too big, and then the social credit score comes in, right? That's the threat, that's the concern, that's the fear. Well, we're not the only ones to have that concern. This here is not an endorsement, but this is Ron DeSantis, who apparently has announced he is running for president. And he is talking about there will be no U.S. CBDC. Take a listen here.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I think that is the strong feeling of people in Silicon Valley who are in this space. And I think we'll be heartened to hear your answer on that. I mean, the weird thing is that, and there is a huge constituency of crypto Twitter. So for people who are maybe part of political Twitter who are wondering why we're talking about this, it really has a big audience for this topic.
Dogecoin too, I just want to emphasize. This is a big deal.
Yeah, Bitcoin and Dogecoin. So shout out to all the Doge fans out there. Yeah. But the weird thing is that this administration, they seem to want to ban Bitcoin, but they want to create a CBDC, which stands for a central bank digital currency. What's your take on that?
So we were the first state just last month. We actually got the Florida legislature to pass a law that says Florida does not recognize central bank digital currency, because some states were actually adding that to their uniform commercial code. The federal government's studying this. We did the opposite and say we didn't. Now, the reason why we did that is because what the Federal Reserve has said is, well, we're going to consult with Congress. We'll consult with the executive branch. We don't have a CBDC right now. And ideally, we would get authorization for Congress. Well, wait a minute. It's not ideally. You must get authorization from Congress. I don't think Congress would authorize it. So if they unilaterally try to do this, we're trying to provide protection for people here in Florida. I know Biden did executive order. They're studying it. I can tell you, if I'm president, we are not doing a central bank digital currency. I think that would. And
there you go right there. So if he's president, that ain't happening. So then you have to ask yourself, well, what will happen? Because the reality is there are very real new payment systems being built and have been built for more than a decade, being put into place and rolled out. So if there's going to be no US CBDC, if this guy ends up running the show, well, then we have to ask ourselves, how does that fit into the new payment system that we're all going to be moving into? There has to be something. And then I start thinking to myself, maybe it turns out we go to the digital dollar project approach where we have separation between the government and our money and bring in the public-private relationship that could have a third party in between the government and or the Fed itself. And that would make me feel a little more comfortable, at least, to know that there's not a direct connection to my wallet, my dollars, and the Fed and or the U.S. government. Now, before we get out of here, this has been something that's been talked about. The trajectory here from Eggrag Crypto saying we could propel to $3.30 and $250, which is quite a disparity. But when you go into the article and you look at why there is such a disparity between where it could go in the upside run of either $3.30 or $250, is simply based on the charting tool that he's using here called the Gaussian channel. And the Gaussian channel shows that if there were to be no dip in price and the indicator works out correctly with the charting tool, which doesn't always mean it will, we could see a 633% surge to $3.30. But if we see a pullback in the Gaussian channel and a dip in price before a takeoff, we could see a very big explosion similar to what we saw in 2017, 2018 when we saw a 30,000 plus surge in price. And if we did a rally of 55,000%, that could take XRP to 250 bucks. Listen, these charting tools are indicators. They're not predictors. So it could also not happen, right? But the reality here is that in history's past, XRP has made these huge bursts. The question is will it be a 600+% burst, or will it be a 30,000+% burst, or 50,000% plus burst? We don't know. But what we do know is, and if you have not seen it yet, I will give you this very quickly here. Brad Garlinghouse has just said that he expects to see a resolution in the case within weeks and not months, based on the news of the Hinman emails being rolled out.
Now, in terms of where things stand today, I'll try to not get too much into the legal weeds. You are right that I feel very confident that we'll see a decision from the courts in this year. In fact, I think I would guess it'll be in weeks, not months.
And there you have that. So we're all holding on to our hat. And by the way, when it comes to price action, I'm not so sure that when we get the decision that you're going to see actual price action right away run and go crazy. No, I know a lot of people are pissed at me for even mentioning that. But the truth is that it will be adoption and the use of the actual product and the value protocol that ultimately ends up moving price. And that's what I'm going to be watching for. And getting a ruling that is favorable for XRP and Ripple will begin to open the door for all of us to potentially see any of these targets possibly play out. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. It's just my digital perspectives. I'll catch all of you on the next one.